And as always, thank you for tuning in and spending a little time with us. This time it's on Tuesday, the 17th day of June, and that's just how it felt outside. Temperatures hanging right around the 90-degree mark, a degree or two more for some folks, and with the 90s hanging around, we'll see them start to wane, but be accompanied, those lower temperatures at least, by an increased threat of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's going to be a trend that we're going to be stuck in for days on end. We'll, of course, tell you about your forecast, which has changed across the board, not to a great degree, but it's Kentucky after all. We will talk about tonight bids, which were open today in regards to the new Montgomery County High School project. Tens of millions of dollars for this project, more than 30 in total, well more than 30 from start to finish. And the bids today, the total amount thereof, will determine whether or not the school system had enough money to pay for all the plans they have. I'll take you to the opening and tell you what I can at this hour. Also, a structure fire completely destroyed a local farming family's barn and all its contents yesterday evening, just after they had wrapped up working in the fields for that evening at least. And also a special meeting today that I'll give you a bit of a glimpse of. If we don't have a full report today, I'll have one forthcoming. And we've got a lot to add to the calendar and much more before I leave you. First off, as we've been discussing and as equine enthusiasts have been hoping for, it's now been confirmed that after being gone from the Bluegrass State for 4 years, the 2015 next year's Breeders' Cup will be coming back to Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, that is. It's not going back to Churchill. It's going to be at least 7 years from what I understand before it may make it back to the Louisville track. It's never been at the Lexington track before, but it's coming next year. It's believed that after next year, the premier horse racing event, one of the premier horse racing events, is going to then go to Santa Anita in Arcadia in 2016, and then Del Mar in San Diego in 2017. The Del Mar track is also a track the Breeders' Cup has never been hosted by. It's a first for the Thoroughbred Championship that happens every fall to be at Keeneland, and it's already, of course, generating a great deal of excitement in the horse industry, as you can well imagine. On a similar note, as far as horse racing is concerned, we've been talking about Thunder Ridge over the past couple of years and how it's continued to wane and how there was an outside company looking to purchase the facility, then take the harness racing elsewhere. I have nothing more new to add on that front except for the fact that we have confirmed through some sources on condition of anonymity that they've started to lay off some of their employees. More layoffs are expected, and it's also believed that facility will be closing in somewhat the relative near future. We'll try to learn more about the facility and what that means to that area. And there were certainly high hopes for that horse racing facility, very popular for several years, but for the past many, it's just been a skeleton of a facility. We'll try to find out more about its closing and, like I said, what that means to the region and horse racing in general in our area soon. A structure fire had already completely engulfed a barn in Sagersville yesterday evening, just a short time after I had left you from the early program. The family of farmers, 2 individuals, had just wrapped up about an hour earlier after baling hay in the fields. Don and Ben Gardner were both on the Gardner farm, which sits, of course, as most everyone knows, at the top of the Ivy Point Hill. Yesterday, they spent the day in the fields baling hay and had wrapped up for the evening. They had placed their equipment back in the barn and left and gone to their respective homes. Don to his, Ben to his, and after about an hour and a half from working in the fields, Ben told me that he looked out his kitchen window and saw the flames. And at that point, as close as he lives and as big as the barn is, it had already engulfed pretty much the entire structure. He called the Sagersville Fire Department, he says. They responded. They immediately put water on the blaze and were able to save a couple of pieces of equipment which received some minor to moderate heat damage. A tractor and another piece of farm machinery were able to be pulled away from the outside of the structure. As you can see here, they're dousing water on at least one piece of equipment, trying to keep it cool until they could get it free from the fire. But everything else inside was a total loss. Several bales of hay. Now, the hay that they baled yesterday was still lying in the fields. That's always, of course, first go-to to blame, but they say the hay in this barn had been dried and in there for a period of 3 weeks or longer, and they're confident that that hay was not the source of the blaze. What was, well, they still don't know. The barn did have electrical service to it, and it did have 3 tractors still inside, at least one of which had been used during the day's work. Whether or not either one of those 2 items is to blame, they don't know. But everything, and I do mean everything in the structure, was a complete loss. Now, I do know that the Gardeners have requested through Fire Chief Paul Howard that he call the Kentucky State Police just to try to get some sort of an answer as to what may have caused the blaze. No foul play or anything of that nature is suspected, but it's just a big unknown. They lost another barn on this property several years ago, 12, 15 years ago. One of the gardeners told me yesterday that it's believed that someone may be visiting the farm, doing some work or something of that nature, may have dropped a cigarette, and that may have ignited that fire. They're still not even certain of that. But as of right now, no one knows the exact cause of this blaze. Here you can see one of the other pieces of equipment, a tractor that was pulled away by the Sagersville Fire Department and able to have been saved. It wasn't running today, I'm told, but it could be repaired. As for insurance on the structure and all its contents, I was told yesterday that this was, for the family, considered to be a total loss. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400. Sagersville National lets you go mobile with their new banking app. That's right, you can view your account and balance, transfer money, pay bills, and yes, deposit checks right from your phone from wherever you are. Just download the Sagersville National Bank app on your Android, iPad, iPhone, or other device. Any phone that can connect to the internet has the capability, and you can start saving time and money today with Sagersville National Bank's new mobile app. Wherever you are, we're there for you at Sagersville National Bank.
Have you ever noticed how many insurance commercials and advertisements are on television nowadays? You can't watch your favorite program without seeing a little pig or green lizard trying to sell you insurance and get your money for their premiums. But let me ask you this. If you have been in a serious wreck, do you really think that you are in good hands of the insurance companies when you have lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering from your head to your toes? The answer is no. If you want to truly be in good hands, give me a call. I'm attorney Donald Wayne McFarland. Let me put my 20 years of experience in working to protect the rights of injured people to work for you. 349-9000.
Brand new to the viewing area, but a family-owned power sports business since 1964. M&M Power Sports on New 460 in Staffordsville is loaded with Kawasaki and Polaris ATVs and side-by-sides and savings, rebates, and financing to put you in control of your next adventure with parts, accessories, a full test riding facility on site, and professional service for every make and model at Kentucky's Power Sports Authority. M&M Power Sports on New 460 in Staffordsville. Enjoy your fun in the summer sun even more with festive settings of the season from the seasonal shop that look good enough to eat themselves. Monogrammed and summer flags of every shape, size, and shade of summer, and other ways to say, welcome, friends. And just in, new and already classic designs by Ethel and Myrtle, ladies, all at Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop, just down from the drugstore and the Radio Shack.
Remember when they invented the peanut butter cup? Bringing peanut butter and chocolate together. Pure genius. Well, the Sonom Enduro has done the same thing for wireless. Right now at Appalachian Wireless, you'll find the tough, dependable Sonom Enduro. This flip phone is great for the job or weekend warrior, but you can also access the internet and take great pictures with a 2-megapixel camera. Get it now, the best of both worlds, just like the peanut butter cup. Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
Frito Rocks is more than just gravel. They've got mulch in red, brown, and black, river rock in 4 different sizes, new rainbow rock for an entirely new landscape feature, metal and double wall plastic pipe, masonry sand, and rock, every size from DGA to 57s to class 2 and 3. And they have delivery and excavation and dozer services. And special hours Monday through Friday, 4:30 till 9 p.m. and Saturdays 9 till 4. For orders, call Frito Rocks on Route 7 at 496-7776. McGoffin County Board of Education and Superintendent of Schools have been anxiously awaiting today. That's the opening of bids for the new McGoffin County High School project and all the projects there entailed to see if they had enough money to see it through completion. I'll take you to the bid opening process in just a few moments. Right now, I don't have it completely worked up, but I'll give you a bit of a glimpse into at least one report that we'll have later on this week and a few more to come up, I guess, on tonight's calendar. But a meeting today, elected officials and interested citizens met this afternoon in the McGoffin County courtroom to preview some preliminary plans that have been put together for projected development projects, all with a common thread at growing the economy and improving the economic infrastructure in McGoffin County.
We will in other ways. So we don't need to, as you say, put all of our eggs in one basket. We do have to diversify, look at larger industry and look at our small businesses, because we do have lots of successful small businesses here and many of them need a lot of help.
Representatives from Summit Engineering provided charts and numbers geared toward informing the public of what an economic plan could do for the future of McGoffin County. Tomorrow I'll have more time to break down some of those key aspects of today's meeting to help us all better understand what plans were recommended, as well as what ideas were presented and what opinions were presented as well on behalf of members of the audience, several business leaders, property owners, other individuals throughout the general public were invited to attend today, considered to be stakeholders for the future of the economic development of McGoffin County. A report's forthcoming. Moving on, though, the first announcement on your McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar is that the Sayersville Water Works has lifted the boil water advisory for the residents of College Heights and Oxshire Branch. You no longer need to boil your cooking or drinking water. The McGoffin County Head Start program is now taking applications for kids 3 and 4 years of age to give your child a head start with all sorts of assistance in potty training, social skills, educational enhancement, basic grooming skills, health, nutrition, and much more. Call 349-3488 to apply. The Substance Abuse Free Coalition meeting is set for tomorrow at noon in the McGoffin County Health Department, and the same time and the same location will be a meeting for the McGoffin County Teen Coalition. Both meetings are open to the public. Lunch will be provided. And the Local Emergency Planning Committee, the LEPC meeting set for this week is Wednesday. That's tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at Sayersville City Hall. If you have any questions, you can call the Volunteer Fire Department of Sayersville at 349-3256. And I've received an agenda for a regular call session of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court for tomorrow afternoon at 1. Items on the agenda include health insurance, Frontier Gas, the county-wide cleanup, and a discussion on tourism. We'll have a camera there and a report. I would expect tomorrow, don't hold me to it, but I expect tomorrow we'll have a report on that meeting as well as other news and information. If you've got a calendar announcement, they're free. That's birthdays and anniversaries too, and this is how you get them to us. A quick reminder, it's Your News Today, P.O. Box 1443 in Sayersville. Phone it in at 349-3699. Be sure and spell out any names for birthdays or things of that nature in case we have a hard time hearing or have multiple spellings. Your News Today at yahoo.com, and I'm on Facebook at Ritt or Mortimer, and you can always drop it off here at the newsroom, which is just a few doors up from the Sayersville Post Office on East Maple. Turning to funeral service announcements for this Tuesday, services for 73-year-old Edgar Salyer of Knox, Indiana are to be held tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The son of the late Woodrow and Virgie Salyer. He's survived by sons Reese and Michael Salyer and Bobby Spencer. Visitation begins this evening and will continue up until services once again tomorrow at 1 o'clock, all of which from the McGoffin County Funeral Home Chapel. And we've received word today of the passing of Larry Carpenter, 68, of Sayersville. Larry passed away yesterday at the Community Hospice Center in Ashland, Kentucky. The McGoffin County Funeral Home tells me they will be arranging services on behalf of Larry, but they have not been completed at this time, but are to be announced soon on behalf of, once again, the McGoffin County Funeral Home.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Premier Auto is all about what's here and now. A 2011 Camry, now $13,950. A 2013 Optima, now $19,450. An 011 Kia Soul, just $15,950. And a Dare to Compare 2011 GMC Sierra, $13,950 at Premier Auto in Paintsville. Cruise on in your Sayersville Dairy Queen because we've got s'more for you. That's right, everybody's favorite summertime treat is back as the blizzard of the month in a cup, waffle cone, or a royal shake. And now get original Julius's and smoothies in strawberry lemonade. It's where you can always get a burger basket or fries from open to close every day, and breakfast 6 to 11 Monday through Thursday and till noon on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only at your Sayersville DQ. Wheel alignments, oil changes, brakes, suspension work, and tires. Thousands of tires by all the major manufacturers, all in stock and at incomparable prices. All backed with 33 years of service and experience, the area's largest tire selection, and 6 months no interest at Conley's in Paintsville. Just as warm and as inviting as the colors of spring are the smiles of those who offer long-term nursing care needs and short-term rehabilitation, all with a standard of excellence and a tradition of caring. At your home away from home, Sayersville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center.
Your teams must go immediately. It's Hot Chevrolet's triple bonus employee pricing. That means for a limited time, buy any new 2014 GM vehicle at Hot employee pricing. Plus, 1, you get to keep the rebates. 2, a free family beach vacation. And 3, get 2 years free maintenance. Triple bonus employee pricing. Only at Hutch Chevrolet Buick GMC in Paintsville, Kentucky. Or at HutchChevrolet.com.
You can be playing, relaxing, and enjoying your brand new lifestyle in just days with one call to Baker's Pool Supply. Over 38 years of professional installation at affordable prices on above ground and in-ground swimming pools. Or if you're ready to open your pool for the season, you need a new liner, a solar cover, some parts, or the best in BioGuard chemicals or salts, Baker's is your full-service answer, serving all of Kentucky and surrounding states with complete satisfaction, and they offer financing. 800-633-7102 or bakerspoolsupply.com. The McGoffin County School System, the Board of Education, and Superintendent of Schools Stanley Holbrook has been anxiously awaiting today. Today was the set date for the opening of bids for the McGoffin County High School. Now, that's the high school building itself, the gymnasium, and several other projects, all of which were open today in various bids. I think there was more than 20 different bid packets, well, more than 20 different contractors, possibly more than a couple of dozen who were all in-house, full crowd, so to speak, as bids were open and then gone over. It will be 48 hours before they are awarded, but we do have an idea, says Superintendent of Schools Holbrook, as of right now, as to whether or not they believe they have enough funding to see the more than $30 million project through completion. $1,000, $795, $2,600. Alternate number 1 is an add of $114,000. Construction. They are combining bid packages 8 and 22. 8 and 22. Base bid, $8,167,000.
Well, as we met with them on a pre-bid, we asked them to sharpen their pencils because we had a very worthwhile project here in McGoffin County, and we asked them to sharpen their pencils and get them figures down as low as they could, and they've come in a little bit better than our project manager and engineers thought they would.
The more the merrier, so to speak. With more than 40 competing contractors, they were hopeful and correct in assuming that might drive some of the bids down. Now, to get you caught up to date, so to speak, or to kind of go through it again, pre-tornado, if you will, before March the 2nd of 2012, the McGoffin County School System, says Holbrook, had $1.7 million in its construction fund. Then, of course, with the loss of the middle school, all the damages to the high school, they began realizing that construction of a new school to be a high school may be the answer. They've spent $7 million on the new McGoffin County High School project to date, with the acquisition of the property, all of the grading, all of the infrastructure, and everything that goes along with it. They've invested $7 million of insurance funds to date. They have about $25 million in the bank, so to speak, or accounted for or assured from the state, insurance, and a variety of other funding services and sources. So that left them today hopeful that they would have a total of bids, tens of different bids all together, all the base bids and all the alternates, hopefully coming in at a combined roughly $25.5 million, leaving them with enough money to, as of right now, pay for the high school project in its entirety. That's the building, the gymnasium, finishing the track around the football field, and everything at the new site. Holbrook says that while it's still going to mean counting pennies, literally, and some other funding sources to come through as they have indicated they will, that it looks as though with the total bid amount today, which is still unofficial and still to be certified, that he's hopeful of seeing everything on their wish list completed.
Right now it looks really good of completing the total project up on the new site. That would be your new high school, new gym, tennis courts, track, football building, where we started, water, sewer, electric, parking lots, the whole 9 yards. We're right there. I've still got 3 sources of money I'm working on, and we're going to pool these numbers for the next, as you said, for the next couple of days. But it's looking like it's going to be somewhere right around $25.5 million to finish that, plus soft costs. And soft cost is the amount of money that your architect, your engineers, your landscape designers, all those third people charge, because you can't. There's no anticipation of how much that can be at this time. And we're feeling really confident.
How hopeful are you? The last thing, and the one thing that's kind of been on the cutoff list would have been the softball and baseball fields, and then the extra gymnasium, saving the middle school gym. How's that looking? That was kind of going to be
Yeah, we had that on the back burner, Ritt, the baseball, softball, and trying to save the middle school gym if it's possible. And the reason why we had it in the back burner, because McGoffin County Board of Education is building a school is our first priority. Athletics is second priority, and